We're going live.
No. We'll do it live.
This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
Good morning, guys. Happy Wednesday. I hope my audio is good for you today. My audio, I don't know if some of you guys tuned in on Friday. My audio was absolute garbage for a good half of the show. So to try to fix that, I did a couple of things. I got a new cable here. This is a shielded cable. And then I had the USB cable plugged into my docking station, but now I'm plugging directly into my laptop. So hopefully no more issues going forward with the audio, because oh my god, like it doesn't just suck for you guys. Like when I go back, what I usually do with these live streams is I will go back and cut them up, and I make short form content with it for places like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube shorts and stuff like that. And I can't do that when the audio's trash, So anyway, it's terrible. All right, guys, enough yammering about that. Well, no, not enough yammering about that. If my audio sucks, just let me know in the comments. And my abilities, it's not removing comments necessarily. It's just that I have a time delay on it, because I keep getting these spammers that will just sit there and blow up my live stream. So you can only post every 15 seconds. So just don't be speed posting and you'll be okay. All right. So yeah, guys, join me for these every Wednesday and Friday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern time. But if you can't make it, that's what the replays are for. And before we get too far into the topic at hand, let's do some housekeeping. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications. Drop a comment. Any comment will do. Please sound off in the live chat. That makes things more fun. We can have some interaction here. Let's see here. Yeah, mic or any interface needs too much power from USB hubs. They should be directly connected. Yeah, so hopefully this fixes it. And it's weird because it was an intermittent problem. It wasn't like it was every episode that was happening, but it has happened enough though. I think it's happened at least 5 times now, so I'm just like, man, I have to do something. I have to get a better cable, plug it directly into the laptop, see if that works better. Oh, what's up, man? What's up, Jonesy? Thanks for coming over from my live on Instagram. All right, getting back to this. Be sure to follow me on social media. The links are in the description. I'm on all the good ones. Follow me on Instagram, though. I'm really trying to build up my Instagram. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/comeonmanpod. You can join for as little as $10, and you get the Monday episodes ad-free with that. You also get them a few days ahead of time. I haven't been saying that. You get the Monday episodes on Fridays, actually, and you get them ad-free. So it's just the interview portion. Because I see guys, in the comments after these lives, and they're like, the show really starts at this time, guys. It's like, okay, I mean, if you don't like all this stuff, this housekeeping stuff, then join the Patreon. And you don't have to hear any of that. And then if you want some coaching, right? I handle my coaching through Patreon as well. So tiers 2 and 3 are where you'll find my coaching. So check that out. If you guys want to support the show, but you want to join the Patreon, just send a super chat during the show. Send a super chat. That's a good way to support the show. Get on the email list.comeonmanpod.com. I will send you some stickers, these stickers right here. And I'm not spamming people. It's really just so that if I ever get kicked off of one of these platforms, I could email you. That's the best way for me to contact you and say, hey, I got a new account here, or follow me over here, or whatever. And if you like those designs, get it on a coffee mug. There's some down below if you're watching on YouTube. Not a nice guy coffee mug. Your coffee will taste better in one of these. You can get that by going to merch.comeonmanpod.com. And then finally, check out my practical law of attraction course. You guys missed it. If you guys didn't jump on the Patreon in February, you missed the opportunity to get the course for 50% off because yesterday was the last day. But still check out the course. The course is still available. It's open. A lot of guys don't realize this, but there's so many guys out there that are like, I can't find a good woman. There's no good women out there. All women are trash, especially in America. All American women are garbage, right? And it's like, that's because that's what you're focused on. You are so focused on what you don't want in a woman that's all you can see. Your mind can't tell the difference between what you want and what you don't want. It can't. So what happens is what you're focused on, you tend to attract more of. That's what you start seeing. And it's not magic. It's your reticular activating system. So you need to change your mindset and start focusing on the type of women that you actually want to attract. And what you'll find is that you'll start seeing these women everywhere that check all your boxes, and it's not that they weren't there before. It's just that you weren't aware of them before. So my course will teach you how to be hyper aware of the kind of women that you actually want. It works in all areas of your life too, though, not just with women, right? I mean, this will help you with your career. This will help you with your health. It all starts with your mindset, everything. So check out the course today, loa.comeonmanpod.com. And just to add to that, I will show you guys a quick TikTok I made last week for it, and then we'll get the show started. One thing, you will find the woman of your dreams. I realize this sounds absolutely cliche, but it's true. Because we tend to get what we focus on in life. So if you fix your mindset, if you fix your paradigm, you'll not only be able to find women that check all of your boxes, you'll actually attract them into your life. And you'll do this by getting really clear on what characteristics you want from a girl of your dreams. And not just what her hair or body looks like, but personality traits. Is she loyal? Is she supportive? Can she cook? What's her relationship with her father look like? You are going to write all of this down. Literally write out a list of qualities you want. And you're going to focus so hard on this that it will engage your reticular activating system. And you'll start seeing women that check all of your boxes everywhere. It's not magic, it's psychology. And I will teach you how to do this in my practical law of attraction course. You can find it at the link in my bio. That's right, guys. You can find it at the link in the bio. I also just dropped it in the chat too, if you guys want to check that out. All right. How to tell when a chick likes you. I thought of this because I had a consultation with one of my Patreon clients over the weekend. And this guy shows me this chat interaction he has with this chick, and I'm like, dude, this chick, she's not just opening doors for you, man. She's opening the windows. she's opening the skylights. She's she's opening the garage door, man. Like, she was really just making herself available to this guy. And he's like, you really think so? I just thought she was being nice. I thought she was just being really friendly. Like, no, dude, no. Chicks don't just do this right here. So I was like, I should do an episode on that because, I was the same way. When I've told the story. If you go back and listen to my live stream about my Batman origin story, I talk about when I went on a date with Red Pill Chick. I'm calling her Red Pill Chick now. Let me hide this here. You guys don't need to see this through the whole episode. So when I met Red Pill Chick, and I went on a first date with her, like, she was doing all sorts of things that I was just like, oh, she seems friendly. But it was like, she was basically like throwing herself at me, and I was just absolutely clueless then. So that's what we're going to talk about. Now, the title is on how to tell when she's pursuing you, and I'll get into that a little bit. But, a lot of these concepts are the same, though, right? When she's into you, she will put herself into your orbit, so you're more likely to ask her out. And when you do, she will make things effortless, right? Like, women, it's funny, too, because when we talk about when women need to pursue men, women get so upset about this, right? They're like, no, that puts us in our masculine energy, and we're not going to do that. Men need to chase. They're the hunters, right? It's like, no. You guys are getting it all wrong. Because if you explain it the way women actually do it, women will go, oh, yeah, no, we do that. So women aren't going, like, for the most part, they're not going to ask you out, right? They're not going to say, so when are you free to get together? Great. Meet me at this place at this time. Like women just won't do that. What they will do is it's very subtle, right? It's like back in the 1800s, a woman would drop her handkerchief so that, the guy that she was interested in would pick it up and come talk to her. That's how women do that stuff. It's very subtle, but they're initiating the interaction by doing stuff like that. And so that's the kind of stuff that you need to be on the lookout for here. And that's what I'm talking about. But so basically you need to be the man, be in your masculine, be able to recognize this stuff and then take the ball and run with it. Okay. So there's going to be women that argue about all these things too, saying, well, just because a woman is doing some of these things, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. And sometimes that might be true, but always assume it does. Always assume it does. It's better to err on assuming that she likes you and that you should initiate the interaction and possibly get rejected than to not take any action at all and then kick yourself later for a missed opportunity. Okay. Uh, it's always better to get rejected than to regret not taking any action. That will kill you. that will just make you feel like absolute crap. Like I could have done it, man. She was so into me. Yeah, man. They'll give you a subtle look, but they won't stare at you, right? They look at you, they'll look away, they look back to see if you saw them looking, stuff like that. It's very subtle. All right. But again, always assume that these things mean that she likes you and go for it. Okay. Women respond very well to bold action. Okay. So always assume, just always err on the side that she likes you. All right. So the first one up here, I have a list of these. I don't know. I think I made it at about 10, maybe more. I don't think I counted. So the first one is there's no guessing. Okay. Her words will match her actions. So always pay attention to a woman's actions, no matter what, though, right? Because her actions will never lie. And a lot of guys, they get so upset with the mixed signals and stuff like that. Well, a woman will never give you mixed signals if you just never really pay attention to what she says in the first place. And you only watch what she does because, her actions will never lie. But if her words do match her actions, that's even better. Okay. That is a sign. That's a good sign. Okay. Like if she says she wants to meet up and she actually shows up on a date and doesn't cancel, that's a high interest sign, right? And how many times have you had a girl say that she wants to go out, but always ends up canceling? I had to wash my hair tonight, or my 15th grandma died. You can never get her in person, right? But she says she wants to meet up. She really says she does. Yeah, no, always trust her actions. If she's never actually going out with you, she's always making up excuses. Trust her actions, But a woman who's really into you, she won't do that. She won't make up excuses, right? She'll say she wants to go out with you and she will actually go out with you. Which sort of goes hand in hand with the next one here. First time. This is your first time? Well, congrats on the getting your cherry popped. I'm here every Wednesday and Friday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So come visit, come check out the live I have scheduled for Friday. So anyway, so the next one it goes hand in hand with the previous one, which is when you ask her out, she will make herself available, right? This is a chick that is high interest in you. She will make herself available. She will tell you her schedule. She'll cancel plans to be with you. Like, think about this, right? This is a good way. A lot of guys call this the Brad Pitt test, or a lot of people are calling it the Jason Momoa test now. But if Jason Momoa asked a chick out, let's say she had to find a babysitter or whatever, she wouldn't say, "Oh no, I can't tonight, Jason Momoa. I have to find a sitter. So yeah, I'm afraid I can't come out tonight." No, she'll find it. She will figure it out. She will figure it out and she will go out with Jason Momoa, right? So you have to ask yourself, if a chick isn't making herself available and, when you say, hey, when are you free to get together? If she's like, oh, I'm not sure of my schedule right now, like that, she's just not that into you, and that you should really just move on to the next chick 9 times out of 10. And find, you guys are really just need to be testing for interest. A lot of this is, it's a numbers game. It's a lot of averages. You're talking to tons of chicks, and you are really just wanting to go with the chicks that are into you. You want to find a woman that's into you. So if she's, throwing up all this stuff, I just don't know my schedule. We all have our phones on us. You can't put together a calendar, bitch. You can't put together a calendar and know what your schedule is right now. Like, I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Like, when people ask me, hey, can you come and do a podcast episode with me? I'm like, well, let me look at my schedule real quick. Yes or no. I can't do it this day, but I can do it this day, right? I make myself available, right? And if so same with chicks, right? If they really like you, they'll make yourself available. They'll tell you, oh, I'm free on this day, and here's my phone number, and here's my Snapchat, and here's my here's my Instagram. They will make themselves available if they're into you. So if she's not doing that, you need to question the interaction. And like I call it, or we call it, right, the Brad Pitt test or the Jason Momoa test. Would she be being all wishy-washy like this for Jason Momoa? Hell no. Hell no. All right, this one's a big one. And this one came up with my client, right? So she asks you out. She actually asks you out. This is a big wave, like a green flag right here. So my client, he's showing me his text interaction. And there's this hot girl that he knows in his social circle, and he sends me his text interaction, and she's sending these big long text bubbles, right? That's another thing that I don't know if I have it on my list here, but if a chick is sending you big long text bubbles and stuff like that, and she's really just being very wordy with her messages, like, she's into you, right? Chicks that are very low interest when it comes to texting send 1 or 2 word messages. They're very just disinterested. But this chick's sending books to this guy. And then she says, oh, and then, if you want, maybe afterwards we can go get some wine. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Yes, go out with her. Go get some wine. He replies back. He's like, I don't know, maybe. Like, what? No, dude. So I was like, send me her picture. I was like, there's no way that he's acting this aloof when she's clearly asking him out, and, and her be hot. This girl is an absolute smoke show. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? So anyway, other things that she's doing with him is they go to events together, right? Because they're part of the social circle. So he's like, yeah, I'll meet you there. And she's like, no, let's go together. So they go together in her car, and she gives him the keys to her car, and she says, like, you drive, right? Like, dude. And he just thought she was just being nice, Oh, she's friendly. She's friendly. Like, no, bro. Girls don't just do that. Girls don't just do that stuff. Like, she's opening all the doors. Now you need to take the ball and run with it. I'm like screaming at him through the phone. My abilities back in college. Let's see what do you got. What do you got here? Back in college, I had women that would take the bus during winter storms to see me. When a woman is down, she's down. Trust me. Women will move mountains for men they want. That is absolutely true. Let's see here. What do you disagree with? I disagree with that. If I'm going out, if a woman asks, I'm not going out if a woman asks me out because she's leading the interaction. Yeah. There's no need to read into it more than that. She's handing you the ball. Like, you can run with it, and you can take control of that interaction, man. Don't overthink things. Okay, the next one. She wants to introduce you to friends and family. This girl, for my client, wants to do that too. She wants to introduce him to friends and family. Typically, I don't recommend meeting friends and family until you're exclusive, right? That, like, a lot of times, when chicks are like, "Hey, come and meet me for a group date," right? Come and meet me and hang out with my friends. Don't do that, man. That's a shit test. And she wants to do a friend vibe check. You're just going to be shit tested the whole entire night. Don't do it. It also ruins a woman's ability to pair bond with you, right? So if unless you're exclusive, I would decline those types of offers, but it's a good sign. If she wants to invite you to meet her friends and family, it typically means that she's really into you, you know. Man, I might burn through these. And I say this in every episode. I say this in every episode. Hey, good morning, brother. All right, guys. Hey, support the show. Send a super chat, guys. All right, the next one on my list here is she's looking for excuses to touch you. Okay, so I mentioned red pill chick at the top of the show, and so these were some of the things that she was doing in our first date that I had no idea. I was completely clueless at this point, but she was looking for excuses to touch me. So there was this time she was asking me about my time in the Navy, and I'm explaining things. I'm using my hands a lot. I might be part Italian or something. I talk with my hands a lot. And anyway, she saw that as an opportunity to grab my hands and hold hands with me. So she grabs my hands and holds them, and she goes, "You're landing airplanes right now. Let me just hold these for you." Right? Like, chicks don't just do that. Chick If she's looking for an excuse to touch you, she's into you. Another thing she was doing was we were standing at a bar. We were at a brewery, and we were, waiting in line to be served at the bar. And she's standing in front of me, and she starts like nestling her butt into me. You know, that sort of thing. If a chick's doing that, she's into you guys. She's not just being friendly. Man, I was clueless back then. I was absolutely clueless. Um, But yeah, if she's just trying to get close to you and touch you, man, she absolutely likes you. Yeah, so and if you guys go back and listen to my Batman origin story, I talk about that. But back then, this was before I started reading this stuff. This was like right after my divorce too. So I didn't have like a good solid date for like 11 months after my divorce. And it was this chick that broke that cycle, but I also, because she showed like all this high interest, I immediately jumped into a relationship with her, which is not a good idea. But but we ended up, after that venue, we went and got appetizers at Applebee's, and when we were leaving the Applebee's, in the parking lot there, she just like attacked me and started making out with me. That's a sign of high interest, guys. If she starts making out with you and initiates that, that's a sign that she's pretty into you. Like, well, I was like, oh, like if you guys ever seen James Bond, Goldeneye, when the Russian chick comes up to him in the sauna or whatever, and she goes right up and starts making out with him, and he's like, "That's close enough." That's how I was. I was like, "That's close enough, ma'am." Oh man, I was an idiot. Body language. Let's talk about body language a little bit. You guys probably heard some of these. If she points her toes towards you, uh, she's generally facing you. She wants that interaction, right? She's not turned and trying to get away from you. She's facing you, right? That she's at least open to the interaction, right? She's got wide open body language. She's not doing this sort of thing. She's not being closed off. She's very, like, very wide open. All that kind of stuff is a good sign. She moves to get closer to you. Okay. If she's moving to get closer to you, that's a good sign. That's a good sign too. She starts preening her hair, brushing her hair back over her ears, that sort of thing. Or she starts straightening up her clothes when she's talking to you or when she looks at you. That's her subconsciously trying to make herself look better for you, So that's all good signs right there. And then this one I wrote down, I got this from my conversation with Dr. Robert Glover was it last year? I can't remember when, but go back and listen to my interview with Dr. Robert Glover, author of No More Mr. Nice Guy. But he was talking about how when a waitress bends over and shows you her epic cleavage shot, she's not just being friendly, right? And women are a little more, they're more aware of their cleavage situation than you might think. So if she's doing that, she knows exactly what she's doing. She knows she wants you to see them because that's one of her assets. Glenn, Glenn, what's up, brother? Hey guys, tune in on Spotify this week. Glenn, here we go. Glenn is my guest, and it's a 2-hour long podcast. It is really good. We go into Glenn's, red pilling, like his divorce, and how he got accused while he was in the Air Force. He got accused of grape. And that whole situation, man, it's a fantastic story. I'm getting a lot of good responses from that. Check that out. All right. So we talked about body language, the cleavage shot. She knows exactly what she's doing. Now, I did have Kate. I don't know if you guys know who Kate is. Kate is a gal that's, she follows Ryan Stone quite a bit. She follows a lot of us on Twitter. She's a pretty cool chick. She's I don't know if she was in the Married Red Pill Reddit frequenter or whatever, but she's, sort of like a consumer of red pill content. And she's basically a walking shit test, but she's funny. And she said on Twitter yesterday, she's like, if a chick's doing that, she just wants a tip. That might be true too, right? A chick, that's working at a place might have her cleavage showing just so that she gets better tips. But like, what did I say at the beginning? Always err on the side that she's into you. Because if you sit there and just try to justify why you shouldn't talk to chicks, you'll never talk to chicks. So just assume that she's showing you the cleavage shot because she's into you, and go with that. Oh, what do we got here? You did a thing. Make sure. Oh, okay. I'll take a look at it. Was it the one I saw the one you did about sauce cast and stuff like that? I caught a little bit of that one. Anyway, there's so much drama in the manosphere, guys. Like the manosphere is like fucking high school, It's kind of fun though. It's kind of fun. All right. Let's see here. She tries to slip into conversations about how she's single. So you're talking to this chick. Let's say you know her from work or school or, college or whatever. And you chat with her frequently, and she likes to slip into the conversation about how she's single. She's into you. She's dropping hints. Women they're very passive, and they're not very direct most of the time. Yeah, you might find chicks that are direct out there, but a majority of them aren't. And so if they're just slipping in little tidbits like that, she's hoping that you pick this stuff up. Okay. Yeah. We talked about that, man. You must be late. Yeah. If she's looking for excuses to touch you, like, yeah, she's, when she laughs, yeah, that's a good one. But if she's looking for any excuse to touch you, man, she's into you for sure. But yeah, if she slips into conversation about how she's single, yeah, she's probably into you. If she laughs at all of your dumbass jokes, and I am the king of dumbass jokes. But if she's like, oh, you're so funny. You're so funny. Like, she's into you, she's, because you can tell too, because if you know that you're just not that funny of a guy, but she's laughing at all your jokes, like, nah, that's her way of subtly showing that she's into you, man. And then she generally just puts herself into your orbit, everywhere you turn, there's that chick again. Maybe you're grocery shopping. You're out shopping, you see a hot chick, and she just happens to be in every aisle that you're in. That's not an accident. That's not a coincidence. What if she says it's cold? Does she want you to touch her? I don't know. I guess it depends on the situation. I mean, if you are sitting outside a bar, like smoking cigarettes or whatever, she's like, ooh, it's cold outside. She probably wants you to give her your jacket. But I'm not a nice guy, so I won't do that. Fuck that chick. I'm terrible. Yeah, it really just depends on the situation, man. Because if she says she's cold, like, how is that you necessarily touching her? You could do that as a test of interest though. Like if you go to like warm up her arms and stuff, like, oh, are you cold and stuff like that, and she's like invites you to do that, then yeah, she's into you, man. Oh, let's see here. Her eyes tell you everything. If she's giving you the look, she's into you. Yeah. That reminds me, guys. I one of the things that this guy here that I was telling you guys about, one of my clients, he does dancing. He does ballroom dancing, and that's how he knows this chick through ballroom dancing. And he's supposed to go and do a dance, like a dance class with her tonight. And it was supposed to be last night, but he's going tonight with her instead. And I told him, I go, when you're dancing with her, man, I was like, make eye contact with your right eye, but into her left eye. So her left eye, this is always like so confusing to guys. You see the eye I'm pointing at, guys? My left eye on a chick, just make eye contact with that eye. It's like magic. It will mesmerize her. And I can't stress that enough. And so some guys say, well, that's just because you're making eye contact. Maybe, but it's giving you a focal point at least. But from what I understand, it's the left eye is connected to the right part of the brain. The right part of the brain is where like women experience the emotions, So if you make eye contact with that left eye, it's just a really like a magic effect on chicks. So if you're on a date with a chick, make eye contact with her left eye and she'll be like putty in your hands, dude. Trust me on this. Don't take my word. Don't take my word. Try it out for yourself. So anyway, where were we at? Dumb joke. She puts herself in her orbit. That's where we're at. So yeah, you're at a grocery store and she happens to be in like every aisle you're in. She's putting herself in your orbit. She wants you to talk to her. Maybe you're at the club, right? And you go from one side of the club to the other, and next thing you know, she's there. I poked the left eye so she could feel it more. Terrible. Hey guys, support the show. Send a super chat. Maybe she's at work and she's always in the break room when you are, or she's always just sort of hovering by your desk. She's always coming up and like, chit chatting with you and stuff like that. She's into you, but I don't like the idea of dating coworkers. I highly recommend against that. It's just a bad idea, right? Worst case scenario, you get fired, right? For sexual harassment. Best case scenario, if things go south with that relationship, you have to see her every day and it's awkward as hell. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not a good idea. Not a good idea. Oh, crap. Oh, Ryan Stone wants to tell about the cuck article. Fuck you, Ryan. Heartfelt, bro. Thanks for the super chat, Ryan. Appreciate it. Oh, man. I'm actually surprised to see Ryan here because usually Ryan's too busy, like doing, I guess he's done with his audiobook, so maybe he can tune into live streams now. All right, so, yeah, this is going to be a short one today. We're getting into pursuing. When a chick's pursuing you, okay, this is where you want to be, guys. This is where you want to be. Smart guys will get the ball rolling with chicks. They'll get the interaction started, and then they'll pique her interest. And they will give her enough space in between dates to think about him, to wonder about him. And when she's doing that, she's more likely to start reaching out to you. Now, when she's pursuing you in this context, she's not typically, for the most part, at least not in the early stages, she's not going to ask you out directly for the most part. She's not. But what she will do is maybe a day and a half goes by since your last interaction. She'll ping you on text. She'll initiate that text conversation and maybe send you a funny meme or something and be like, oh, I was just thinking about you or whatever. Right? That is your cue that she wants your presence and she wants you to set the next definite date. Okay. That's pursuing. Okay. If you're the one that's always initiating the interactions, you're the one pursuing her, which isn't which you're probably going to end up doing for the first, couple of weeks of a new interaction. But once you get her all up in her feelings and stuff like that, and you can really only do this in person on a date. But once you get her on a date and you spike her emotions, you get her really thinking about you and really just raising that attraction level with you, she's going to start reaching out. And when she does, like, that's your cue. So let me give you an example here, and I'll use I got 7 comments. What do we got? We got a whole bunch of guys here. Best things to talk about with women. Talk about whatever you're interested in. Women want to join your lifestyle. But also, when you're first meeting a chick, you want her to do most of the talking. So it's actually really easy. Don't overthink this, okay? You want her doing about 80% of the talking, and you want to keep your answers sort of short, playful, and vague, because you want to raise that mystery level. You know what I mean? And it actually becomes effortless. You're the one asking the questions. You're the one in control of the conversation. And you want to just take a genuine interest in whatever she's talking about and keep asking her open-ended questions, make statements, banter with her, poke fun at the things that she says, but you want to keep her talking. Just like, you really don't have to do that much work, so don't overthink it. All right. I gotta close the chat here because sometimes I get I get off track here looking at the chat. All right, so she's pursuing. So let me talk about Nurse Chick. So when I met Nurse Chick, I ended up going on a coffee date with her, and I typically don't recommend coffee dates because usually I think they put out the friend vibe. So I always like to go for drinks in the evening because that's more of a romantic setting. But Nurse Chick at the time worked graveyard shifts. She was a labor and delivery nurse, and she worked graveyard shifts. So she couldn't go out in the evening. She really could only meet up for coffee. So I was like, screw it. So I met her for coffee. Did all the usual stuff that I tell guys to do, had her do most of the talking, which is really hard because Nurse Chick doesn't talk very much. And when I walked her to her car at the end of the interaction, I went in for a kiss. And that's something that I always recommend guys do, because even if a chick isn't showing, signs of that she wants to be kissed throughout the date, just go for it at the end of the date. Because a lot of times chicks are just as nervous as you are. And if you like her, that's the ultimate test of interest. So go in for a kiss. And if she's like really showing some of these signs of high interest, like touching you and all that kind of stuff, like, kiss her in the middle of the date. Like, you don't have to wait till the end of the date. But a lot of chicks don't do that. Not on a first date anyway. So I went for a kiss at the end of the date, and I went home. And it was in the middle of the day on a Sunday. It happened to be WrestleMania Sunday. And so my plan for the evening was to go home and watch WrestleMania, and she was supposed to go to work. Well, she sends me a text message saying that she got low census. And she's like, so I got low census. I don't have to go into work tonight. What are you up to? Right? Like, that is a chick pursuing you. That is a chick that wants you to set the next definite date. She wants you to do something, to take action. So I saw it for what it was. And I said, well, I'm watching WrestleMania tonight. You're welcome to come over to my house and join me. And that's a huge test of interest, right? Hey, will she drive an hour to come watch WrestleMania? If she chick does that, she's really into you guys. So yeah. So anyway, Nurse Chick came over that night, and she said she likes to justify it to herself, like, no, it's technically 2 dates because the first date was the coffee shop and the second date was WrestleMania. So whatever, I'll let her have that. But yeah, I mean, they will put themselves in your orbit hoping you will take the ball and run with it. And that's what I mean by chicks are pursuing you. It's not like they're pursuing you like a man does. And so you need to use that, see it for what it is, and use it as an opportunity to set the next definite date. And because they won't typically ask you out directly. And if you don't ask them out, like, they'll eventually, that's how guys end up in the friend zone, because guys aren't paying attention to these subtle hints, and they're not taking the ball and running with it. They're just thinking that she's being friendly, so they treat her like a friend. And if you treat her like a friend, she has no choice but to think of you as a friend. And that's how you end up in the friend zone. All right. Let's see here. Another way that she might be pursuing you, or you can call it pursuing, is she suggests having another date while you're on the current one. All right. If she's like planning the next date, that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. There you go, man. Proximity is woman's shooting her shot. How to properly have friends with benefits. Man, I think you're overthinking this stuff, bro. Friends with benefits just happens when you sleep with a chick and then you just you're just like, you just invite a chick over. Hey, come on over. And if she's down, she's down. And then you don't ask her on dates. You don't take friends with benefits on dates. Her looking to get eye contact is a good one too. Yeah. Jack, have you tried out the left eye trick, dude? Check out the left eye trick. Don't poke her in the left eye, but stare at her in the left eye. Try that, man. All right. She suggests having another date while on the current one. Now, she can do this. You cannot. You cannot, and I forbid it. Try to set the next date while you're on your current date. That is needy behavior. You do not want to do that. And a lot of guys do that. They have a good time on their first date. Chick's having a good time. And she's like, and the guy's like, so when are we going to do this again? No, you need to let her sort of stew about the interaction. You need her to think about what happened and wonder if you liked her or not, because that builds up that emotional tension, right? I like to call it heat, right? Healthy emotional anticipation and tension. If you don't give her that emotional tension and anticipation, you're not doing anything to build attraction. So you want to not set that next definite date while you're on your current one, because it makes you look needy as hell and desperate. Oh, yeah, that would be a funny one. Have you guys need to read Ryan's book, Fuck Files. He's got some really good gems in it too about what to do on dates. He's got this thing called the cube he talks about. Fascinating. All right, let's see here. And then finally, I have my last one here. She offers to cook for you. If a chick is offering to cook for you, she's into you, man. She wants to show you her trad skills. Hey, look, I'm a real woman. You guys ever had a chick say, hey, let me cook for you, and then she just makes you box mac and cheese? Just kidding. I've never had that either. You know who's a really good chick? Good cook is Nurse Chick. Nurse Chick is a really good cook. She's amazing. And well, she's not on keto now. She's getting ready for a fitness competition coming up here. So her trainer's got her on like watching her macros. She's got to get her macros dialed in. So she's actually on carbs, but typically she and I are both on keto. And I'm still on keto. So she will make like the most amazing keto dishes that I'm just like, dude, she could probably make a keto beef Wellington. I'll tell you what. Yeah, box mac and cheese. That's a win, dude. She cooked for you, dude. She cooked for you. Oh man. All right. So that's the list, guys. Hopefully that helps you determine, if a chick's really into you or not. A lot of guys are just absolutely clueless with this stuff. They're like, oh, she's just being friendly. Nah. Now, chicks will do some of these things. They're very subtle with it because they want you to recognize it for what it is and then take the ball and run with it. So that's your job. That's your job as a man, as a real man. All right. I don't see any more super chats, so I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up here. Tune in Friday, guys. I had a guy asked me in the comments section to talk about vasectomies. So we're going to be talking about the old snip here on Friday. I do these live every Wednesday and Friday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, we'll be talking about getting the old snip. And if you've been thinking about having one, definitely tune in. I got some information for you. Other than that, I guess we'll just do the usual wrap up stuff. If you guys haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, hit those notifications. Thanks for you guys that have been sounding off in the comments. That's actually been very helpful. I appreciate that. That makes these lives go by faster. If you're watching the replay, drop a comment below. Any comment will do, even in your favorite emoji. I don't care. It all helps with the algorithm. Follow me on social media. I'm on all the good ones. The links are in the description. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/comeonmanpod. You can join for as little as $10. You get all of Monday's episodes ad-free and early. You get those on Friday afternoons before anybody else. And then if you guys want some kind of coaching, join tiers 2 or tiers 3. So check that out. If you guys want to support the show during these lives, send a super chat. That helps out quite a bit. Get on the email list.comeonmanpod.com. I will send you some stickers. And if you guys like those designs, you can also get those on mugs and t-shirts and stuff as well. Merch.comeonmanpod.com. Check out the Law of Attraction course, my practical Law of Attraction course. I talked about it early on. I was giving it away for half off for all the Patreon members for all of February. So if you guys waited to do that, the time's up. Your time is up. But definitely check that out. Because a lot of this stuff, a lot of like dating, relationships, all that stuff becomes much easier once you get your mind right. So that's what that course is about. There's no woo-woo magic or chick crack in there. It's not about chakras and horoscopes or anything like that. It's all about reprogramming your subconscious mind. All right. That's it. Thanks for joining me today, guys. And we will see you guys on Friday.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. Now, go out and get it.